Hi friends, welcome to WebChamp. So in this video, I'm going to discuss how to automate the Power BI task using the Power Automate. So what and all tasks we perform with respect to Power BI, all can be automated. Not everything is super available, but there are many things that we can do to automate the task. Okay, so let me go for the Power BI and here if you come to the workspace, so we have a reports here. So normally we can refresh the reports. Then if you after refresh, if you open, you may want to share the report with someone, so you can export it as a PDF or as a PowerPoint, and then you will be able to share. Then you may want to export the data. Okay, you may want to export the data from the any of the visual. So like this, these are the kinds of tasks you can automate on the Power Automate side for the Power BI. Okay, so let me start creating a flow. Okay, so let's say I have a flow. So let me use the same one. Let's delete this. Okay, so here again I'm using manual flow, but you can use the scheduled flow also, right? So in Power BI, sorry, in Power Automate or in Power BI, we both the things we can integrate. So we have an action called when Power BI Power Apps button is clicked in Power BI, then also you will be able to trigger the flow, meaning from the Power BI report wherever it is published, right? And this can be used to streamline the workflow, reducing the manual efforts and diversing the insights faster. So now what kind of task we can automate, right? So data set refresh, export, report export, then alert and notification, even data driven workflows you can create, and paginated report delivery. So these are the kinds of things you can automate, right? So here I listed what and all different types of actions are there, but all these actions are not available. Okay, get data set, get report, these were options, meaning these actions were there, but I couldn't find them on these. But yes, refresh a data set, export a report, run a query against a data set, trigger a data driven alert, and even add a row to the data set, delete row. I don't found that action. So let's see how to use a refresh data set. Okay, so here I have a data set. Okay, if you come to the workspace, we have two different things. One is a report, one is semantic model. Semantic model is nothing but your data set. So earlier the semantic model was named as a data set. Now this is later, maybe in last 1 or 2 years, they changed to semantic model. So I'll select refresh a data set action. So what you need to do is you need to click on the actions, go to the Power BI connectors, and from here you will be able to find the list of actions that you can perform. And I selected refresh a data set. Once you come, you can select the workspace, and then it will show the list of available data sets in that workspace. Let me run this. Okay, here you can see that this data set is refreshed at 6:55:48 a.m. today. Now let me trigger the flow. So I just wanted to check, will it start my data set refresh when I trigger the flow? And ideally it should start. Right, this is taking a time to perform action, but yes, it will perform. The trigger has been, meaning the refresh has been triggered, or the refresh trigger is activated. However you want to call it, you can call it, right? So still the time shows the same. Let me refresh the page, and you will be able to see this report got updated or refreshed at 11 a.m. Right. So this is how we can trigger the refresh of Power BI report. Let me delete this action. Now let's say we have to do something like we have to export a report in the form of PDF. Okay, we can do that. How to do? Right. So if I come, I would like to get this page. Here I have only one page, but let's say you have multiple pages and the pages may be hidden or unhidden, whatever. Pages may be hidden or unhidden, whatever. You will be able to export it. How to do this? Let's go to Power BI connector, select export to file paginated reports. Okay, I don't want to do this. I want to export to file for Power BI report. So this is you should use with the Power paginated report. This is what something you should use with the Power BI reports. So Power BI report and paginated report both are different. Okay, right. So here I'll select the workspace. Here I'll select the report name. So here I'm not going to select this semantic model name. You should select the name of report, which report you want to export, right? Then PDF format you can select. Then there is something called, if you go to these parameter, advanced parameters, there is something, you include hidden pages. And here you should say yes, right? Once you say this, just save. Okay, but what it will do, it is not going to do anything at this moment. It will just export, but it is not going to send you an email. It is not going to send you on, or it is not going to save somewhere if you want to save it. So what we can do, we can get this on my email. So let me send an email to myself. And this is the action for the Outlook I have selected, send an email. Okay, to whom? So I'm going to send this email to myself only. And test report export is the subject. Okay, and let's say dummy. Okay, nothing is there. I don't want to add. You can add as per your normal process. Then there is something called attachment. Okay, select this parameter. In case of attachment, what you should do, right? So you should give the name of attachment like report.pdf. This is what the name. And what is the attachment content? Go to the dynamic content and select file content. The output of this, whatever, however it will return, we have to save that as a PDF, or I have to send that in a email. You will be able to create the PDF file on the SharePoint also, in the OneDrive also. So however you like, you can do. I am going to save this action and let me perform the test, run the flow and done. Let's wait until this gets finished. Right, so you need to wait. Right, okay. The email has been triggered. Right, and you can see this is what the email. This is what the email, right? So if I open this PDF, you will be able to see whatever the report I saw here on the Power BI service can be stored or can be sent to me on the email in the form of PDF. But there are many options. If I shown you only one option, so if I edit this flow, so you will be able to see Instead of PDF, we can use the PNG, we can use the PPTX, right? So like this, we have the another actions for the Power BI that you can do is, let me just discuss. So you can add a row to the data set. This is fine. Okay, even if you have created a data driven alert, then you will be able to use this as a trigger point, right? Then you will be able to run a query against to fetch the data, right? So if I come, let's say I wanted to fetch the data from this report or this report visual. So if I come here and I wanted to get the query, okay, so I wanted to get the query. So what should I do? Let me remove all other unnecessary actions first. And here, if I come, it is asking for the workspace. Then you need to select the data set. Okay, this is fine. We will select the data set. Let's wait. And this is what the data set. I would like to run the query on this. Okay. So DAX query you can write by your own, or you will be able to get the query for the visuals also. So if I click on this visual, let's say I want to get the data sum of sales by product category. So I will say export data. I wanted to get the query, so I will use the live connection export, so that this Excel can give me the summarize the data for the production or product category names. Okay, let me, yes, let me enable as per your organization setting. You should enable, otherwise don't enable. And let's wait until this gets load the data. This is what the data that visual is showing us. If I go and if I pick this command text, okay, so you have to come on this connection, go to the definition, click on the command text, copy it, and go back to the Power Automate, paste it here. Then you may want to include the nulls or not, you can do. In meaning, you if you are running this on behalf of someone else, you can use user identity UPN format to run the query as an another user. I don't want to do this. Then let me close and say save, and let me run this. Okay, so if I run the flow and done. Okay, so the flow execution is done. Since a very small query, it gives, otherwise it will take amount of time to show the output. So status code 200, meaning your query execution is successfully, meaning the query said that connection is successful, we can say. Then headers, these are the cloud related information, how it tracks the date, time, everything, whatever. Inside a body, you will see there is something called a table. Inside that table, we have something called result. And in rows, we have something called category name and the amount, sales amount against that category, right? This is what for home appliance 421 600 355. So for home appliance 421 600 355 is the amount, right? This is how you can get the data. Once you have the data, right? Once you have the data, how to play around it, where to save the data, in OneDrive or in SharePoint, or if you want to save in Excel file on your local, but in local you can't do. Okay, so it is better to use the OneDrive and all. So even you may want to send the data in the form of table to the users, you will be able to do. There are many things to do, but it's up to you, and based on the requirement you will have to decide what to do next, how to do next, right? And so many things, meaning I already discussed in my playlist how to play around the objects, how to play around the list, how to play around the nested object, and what and all the different kind of data operations we can use. So you should go through all these to understand how to take it further, right? So these are the actions that can be done, right? So rest of the actions, whatever the available actions are there, you can try. So nothing, you just have to select the parameters. for your query. So you can try add a rows to the data set. You can even update the goals. Goals is nothing but something like we can say it's a scorecard or target, right? And you will be able to track that from here also. And based on when a goal is get a goal, if you want to get the information about the goal, you will be able to get it, right? So normal window you will not be able to see anything. If you click on the more, here there is something called matrix. Okay, on matrix side I have something called test card. This is what the goal, this is what the treated as a goal. Okay, let me try to get the information about the get a goal. Even I'm not sure whether this will work or not. So goals are created, so I don't know where this is mounted, right? So this is the test named goal. But let's say goals should be mounted on any of the report, right? Scorecard ID. Okay, let it fetch. So it is not showing because I have not mounted that on anywhere. So here if you come, okay, let me delete this. Okay, let me close this report. And if I come to the matrix, so here you can create a new scorecard. Okay, not started. So this is not in running. So let me uh, delete this. Okay, so let me find out a way to delete. This is the goal. This is the edit option. Okay, not it started, right? So let's see. We can have options to delete it. Okay, delete this check-in. Let me say delete. And now let me say run this. Okay, let's see whether this will get deleted or not. So nothing. Right. So let's click on this. Okay, this is the history, but I don't want to go in history. We can delete this. Let me close this. Okay, at the matrix level only, I think we have a matrix level only, we can have that option. So this is my matrix. And here I have an option to delete this. Okay, I was trying to find the option inside of that. That was not possible. So you can create a scorecard. Scorecard help you to track related goals and sub goals in one place, right? So you need to create a scorecard, and inside that you may end up with creating a goals. Okay, so let me say this. Okay, but this will consume another couple of minutes. But yeah, this is what something that you can do, and you can get the details about it by using the scorecard ID. So each scorecard here you will see the way we are seeing the workspaces names here. We will see the list of scorecards. Then we will see the list of goals, right? So how to create that and will be a separate topic for me. So let's not to dive on how to create goals and all. But yeah, there is a way to track the things. Right. So this is all about the Power BI automation, I can say. And these are the actions that we try to see. So here, most of the actions I can see with respect to the goals only. And we have two different triggers. So when the data driven alert is triggered, meaning start a flow when KPI. Meaning this is what the trigger. So when you are going to use the automated cloud flow, you should be able to use this. And Power BI automate visual trigger. So launch a flow from inside a Power BI report when using the Power BI automate. So visual. So this is again the kind of integration of flow in Power BI, right? So instead of this manually trigger, see if I add the trigger for the Power BI, okay. So you can see these are the triggers when the Power BI button is clicked, right? So if I select this, you need not to add anything and all. So I can refer this flow in my Power BI. So working with Power BI is the name of flow, right? So what I can do, I can add the flow, this flow in my Power BI report. So let's say Power BI desktop. I'm just trying to open this. Okay. And let's see how we can use this or how we can integrate this flow in my Power BI. Okay. So let me select the blank report. And here, if you come, so in the visualization pane, there is something called Power Automate button, right? So you should start here. If you go and if you see edit, you will be able to do something. So it will give the list of flows. Okay. So these are the flows that are created to add. But these flows are going to work with the Power BI button because we selected trigger as a when Power BI button is clicked. Okay. Let me say apply. Let me go back, right? And okay, let me select this. Right. So when I click this button, it should run my flow. This is what the expectation, right? So let me start. Okay, this flow automatically, right? When with a recent trigger used. Okay, I don't want to do this. Let me save this. Right. And let me come back. Here, last flow I ran at 11:23. Now it's 11:33. Now let me run this flow from this button. Okay, it is triggering. You can see the flow is getting triggered. It says triggered. So integration is successfully worked. Now let me refresh all the runs. You can see at 11:33, meaning 7 seconds ago, the flow is triggered. And this is what I did from my Power BI button. So this is how you can integrate, and with respect to creating a flow and everything, you will be able to design the flow, your own flow, if you go through the my entire series of Power Automate. Right. So automation is pretty much easy with Power Automate with the Microsoft tools. Even there are many other applications that we can directly use. So these are the, or actually these are the API requests that sends to these specific applications to do something, right? So this is all about the Power BI automation using the Power Automates. I hope you like the content of this video. Thank you so much for watching the video. Have a nice day. Do not forget to subscribe, WebChamp, and learn the technology easily.